Coming to you live from Hell Entertainment Studios. Sinner Sundaze. With your hosts, Diggz and aGraace.
Are more popular and more successful, and you're working harder now than I think I've ever seen you work. You work hard. You're in every movie.
Well, I'm such a whore. I can't say no.
For some reason, I felt William Shatner come over me.
Right.
Which happened.
Oh, I wish I could say
If
the
someone,
same.
yeah. When did you move to Los Angeles first, or come to New York?
When
first?
I was a year and a half old. I don't think California was a state at that time. I think
Is that right?
I think so.
Controlled by Mexico. That's
right,
the Spanish had it. Yeah.
At 90 years old, I was not expecting this. Let's
Right.
put it that way.
Just the way things have gone the last couple of years has been just fantastic.
That's right. So I'm going to start lying about my age. I'm 45.
You're 45. Wow.
It's funny because people wanted me topless, but I said no. And weren't you? It's so hard to tell.
I come from hardcore Irish Catholics. They're upset, obviously, at that moment, but then they turn it into an excuse to tell really funny stories and drink like crazy.
Oh, and drink like crazy. I'm not an Irish,
Right.
like you.
Yeah.
I'm a little mix-up of a lot of things, but I don't have to wait till then to drink. That's the good part.
What do you like to do in your free time?
Oh, I like to do most anything, play with animals mostly, and vodka's kind of a hobby. And
Hey,
what's up, everybody? Welcome to Sinner Sundaze. A little bit different of an opening there that we wanted to do to pay respects to everyone's non-related grandmother, I want to call it. So Betty White.
I like that. I know, rip Betty White, huh?
2021 takes out one right before the end, and it's got to be Betty White. 17 days before her 100th birthday.
Oh, I actually have a little thing about that. So it was like a meme or something. I don't know. But it's true. Because in her lifetime, there was so many leap years that actually she was 100 years old in 7 days.
Well, there you go. Those leap years.
Those leap years. So technically, she did reach 100.
Well, good for her. Rest in peace, Betty White, Golden Girls. Fun fact about the Golden Girls, when she auditioned for the rose of Blanche.
I knew that.
I did not.
I knew that. I didn't watch Golden Girls, did you?
I did, and Blanche was the sluttier of the four.
Yeah.
I couldn't picture Betty White being the slut of the group.
I don't know, man. She says some pretty dirty shit in her interviews.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot more out there. That was just a quick minute and a half, 2 minutes that we could gather up and provide you guys with some comedic relief.
And like you did say, because we don't have music news this week, we just have Betty White.
Betty White news, because that's all we did. It's all relevant right now.
Right. So she turned down a handful of movies if there's any like animal cruelty involved because she was such a animal activist.
Yep.
Like one movie she turned down was with Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, why did I just say that wrong?
You've been having issues with words since we logged on. So
I know. Sunday. Anyways, because he had to shove a puppy down a laundry chute, and she was like, "I'm all set." But there was a couple other ones too, which I was like, "Oh,
yeah.
Eddie, could you be any more awesome?
Any more perfect grandma?
Awesome." And she
did
that. Oh, go ahead.
No, go.
Oh, I was gonna say she did have the longest TV career for females.
Yep.
Like ever. It's probably one of your facts.
It's in there, but I was actually going to say she was a Guinness Book of World Record holder.
Ooh, I didn't see that one.
For that particular fact that you just put, that you said.
Words.
Yeah, I have no words either. Listen, I'm fighting some shit, so bear with me. For the longest TV career of an entertainer female. That's her Guinness Book of World Records hold.
All right.
70 years in show business.
It's in that house. She's so cute. She's nice. She's nice. She's just one of those people that if you meet, like, she just would have been a nice lady.
Oh, yeah. And I bet she would have done, like, vodka shots with you at the bar and probably drank them at the table.
Oh, hello, probably.
I mean, we both don't do vodka, but if she passed a shot over, I don't think either one of us would deny it.
True. I don't know. She liked her martinis. She was a martini girl.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Do you know what she would? Do you know what she was going to be if she wasn't going to be an actor?
I don't.
A zookeeper.
Makes sense. Yeah. I didn't know this. She was in World War II. Did you know that?
I had that on my list.
Whatever. But you didn't know that until you had it written down.
Exactly. So why don't you enlighten our millions and millions of viewers on your facts?
I'd love to. Yeah, she drove a PX truck, which I don't know what it carried something. It was pretty big if you look up a picture of it. But yeah, she was in. I did not know that. I'm like, damn. I knew she was a badass, but
she is a badass.
She's just a badass. Like she's the man. She was the man.
She was the oldest person to earn an Emmy nomination.
Oh, I didn't know she was the oldest.
Yep.
I know she got 6. She has 6, and then she was nominated for 18.
And then go for it. See, it's tough when we're not side by side. It's tough when we're doing it like this. It's two shows in a row that we have to do it like this, but it's the way of the world. So here we are.
Here we are. Whatever. We're still here. What was I saying? Oh, her real name is, in fact, Betty. It's not short for Elizabeth, anything like that. Her parents they wanted the name to be Betty. They didn't want it to be Liz or Beth. So Betty White is her real birth name.
My last fact before we get into introducing our guests, I'm letting you know what we're going on for the rest of the show. In 2010, a Facebook group called Betty White to host SNL made her the oldest person in Saturday Night Live history to host.
Wow. I lost my pen. Oh, here.
She really is the GOAT.
She's the GOAT. Exactly. Perfect way to put that.
She's the GOAT.
Totally.
So,
but yeah, Betty White.
Betty White. That's rest in peace. Someday
she's like, I'm fucking done with this crazy shit. Not doing it anymore. I gotta go.
I'm going out. I'm gonna go connect with the other Golden Girls up there. And
how did she die? I don't even know.
I didn't even look up to see what the cause of death was.
Yeah, she just peacefully.
She probably went bridge jumping or bungee jumping or something.
I think we'd see a picture of that,
but in all seriousness, rest in peace, rest in power to Betty White, and thoughts to her family, friends, and millions and billions of fans that she has out there. I've never been affected by a celebrity death, but Not that it affected me, but it was just one of those ones that made me go, "Oh, it sucks."
Yeah, it was sad.
It's Betty White. It's Grandma.
It was sad.
Okay, and other facts or other things for the show tonight. We have Tommy. Jesus Christ, I cannot talk tonight. Tommy Church from A Killer's Confession and the Jeffrey Nothing Band coming on to talk to us about what he's got going on. Please like, share, subscribe to our Facebook YouTube page and the LT TV YouTube page, which we are streaming on as well tonight. So go give a like, share, subscribe to all of that. We would greatly appreciate it. We know Betty White is kicking it and watching the show up wherever she's a part of that. And,
Yeah, she was our secret fan. She's been supporting us, so you guys should too.
Yeah, no, we don't have her backing. We need some
I know.
stuff.
So we're looking for sponsors.
Yep. So yeah, Tommy Church coming up next. Ash, you got anything else before we play a video from Killer's Confession and bring Tommy in?
Was I supposed to?
I don't know. I was just asking if you had anything.
Oh no, we talked about Betty White.
Yeah, we could do a whole show on Betty White if we wanted to.
Oh my god, we talked about it.
But
no, that's it. You?
No, I got nothing else. I want to get Tommy in here, talk about him. There's a lot going on in his world. But we have a quick snippet of a video from A Killer's Confession, Knife from Behind. We're going to play a little bit of that, and then we'll be back with Tommy. See you soon. And we are back. That was a clip from A Killer's Confession, Night from Behind. We are joined by the great guitar player, Tommy Church. How are you, Tommy?
Hello, everyone. How are you?
We are good. I am good. I'm not going to speak for Team Eaglefang over there, a.k.a. Ashley.
I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you for popping on. We got questions popping in the comments already, so we'll get to those in a little bit. Tommy, thank you for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here.
You know, sitting down with us and talking about pretty much everything that's going on. So why don't you give a little history of yourself? Tell us how you got it started in the music industry playing guitar, and we'll roll from there.
Oh, good Lord. Well, I was born. I wanted to play guitar, and that's what happened.
Greatest answer in interview history.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've said it a million times. Ever since I was a kid, I would dress up like Ace Frehley and Gene Simmons and dance around with a broom. And, my mother would more than tan my hide because I'd use all of her mascara and makeup because, I was Ace Frehley.
So you would full out dress up, paint and all.
Well, when you're 4 and 5 years old, you use what you can, And
Absolutely.
I mean, to be Kiss, I wore a couple of trash bags and a whole lot of bad eyeliner, but, I was cool.
Oh, hell yeah. Of course. That's awesome. That's so like right off the grid, was your family like super into music, or did you see something when you were a kid that just in your brain you're like, I need to do this?
Well, it's I have some very vivid memories of when I was really young, and my mother was a great piano player. So,
Cool.
she worked the third shift, and we lived in a really old house. So she would come home at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever time they get off sometimes, and she would play like Moonlight Sonata, which is my favorite piece of music of all time. And I would just hear it through the walls of this old creepy house, and it would scare me to death. But it's just kind of like something you don't understand. You're so scared, but you're intrigued by it, and you just got to know what it is. And I guess that
Totally.
started my fascination with music. It's like, don't go in the closet, but I want to know what's in there.
But I have to open it. Totally. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it, and I'm still doing it today. So I think my lucky stars. I've been playing guitar and traveling bands and making music for almost 20 years now.
Wow.
I'm still not as cool as Betty White, but I definitely hope I'm that cool when I get that age.
I gotta say, I don't think a lot of people are Betty White status. I think Betty White has her own status, and that's a milestone to hit.
Oh yeah,
That's true.
Yeah, that intro you played was great. She was something, man.
Yeah, she
know.
was, and
She's
you
so
could just tell
cute.
like Ash said, but when when we were talking before, you could just tell she was a sweetheart. Just by her demeanor and the way that she held herself, she was a down to earth person. So,
But also,
Anyway.
she would fuck you up if you fucked with
Absolutely.
her or her family. Like she knew people. She knew people.
I bet she could shred on a guitar.
Well,
bet
I would
she
have
could,
loved. I would have loved to have hung out with her when she was like lit on vodka. Could you imagine
Right.
the stories
Just-
and all? Imagine the shit that'd come out of her mouth, and you'd just be like in awe. You'd just be like, "Please say that one more time. Just do that again." So,
Totally.
and-
Oh,
Alright. Well, back to you.
yes.
I mean, or we can keep sprinkling Betty in, but
well, I couldn't
So,
help it. She
Tom-
was cool.
Yeah.
so
no, absolutely.
she was cool. Before we hopped on, you were telling us that you've just been on a writing kick. You've just been writing so much, and I held off to ask. So, is that for both bands, like Killer's Confession and Jeffrey Nothing? Are you writing for other people right now? Like,
Well,
what's your
it's kind of just an open process. Like me and Waylon are getting ready to work on a new A Killer's Confession album. We're hooking up with DJ Scat from Struggle Jennings, and he's going to produce some songs. And then, of course, we'll be working with Sahaj again and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
that's pretty much been the writing kick that I've been on. I probably wrote, I've got probably about 8 to 9 musical ideas that I took on in like the past 3 or 4 days, just trying to cram it all in, be like, oh, write as much as you can. But, sometimes when you're in that mood, something just comes out that you don't even expect. And you're like, well, that's not going to work for this. So, you just start building a list. And then next thing you know, you got a whole cupboard full of garbage that you got to clean out. So,
It's always good to have stuff in the book, though. Side projects or something, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
have it there and in the vault, and if you need it, you can go back and grab it.
Well, it's a great. I was doing it today before I came on and talked to you guys. It's been a rainy day here in North Carolina. Pretty cold. Nothing to do but stay in, watch movies or whatever. But I've got this bad habit. Every time I watch a movie, I pick up a guitar, and then 20 minutes into the movie, I'm not even watching the movie no more. I'm over here working on this riff that just came out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh well, I can make that into something. And so movies never work out for me. So never.
There's nothing wrong with that. It helps with your creative flow.
Yeah, and this was a good movie too. It was something about this satanic cult was taking babies and sacrificing them, and I was like, oh, this got pretty interesting.
Right.
And then I started writing a piece of heavy metal music. So
It sounds like a Tubi movie for sure. It's awesome.
I'm going to jump to a question real quick by Black Blood Store Alex Pete. I'm going to put up there on the screen. I don't know if you can see it. because there's a lot of books in your the background there, Tommy. What are you reading besides the bar menu on tour?
Well, I am a big reader. You know, it's like my favorite author is H.P. Lovecraft. You know, I love all the dark and stuff that your mind just can't figure out that you want to figure out, you know, especially like ancient mysteries and stuff like that. The last book I read was called, or the last novel I read, because I read a bunch of short stories. But the last novel I read was called The Lost Symbol by Dan Brown. It's kind of older, but, you know, I just hadn't never picked it up. And it was pretty good. I enjoy the lore, but I read all kinds of books on religion. My favorite is, you know, nonfiction documentaries, serial killer stuff, you know, the average, normal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Reader's Digest, you know.
The TV guide.
Yeah.
They still make a TV guide?
I don't know. I do not know.
I do a lot of poop reading, you know, while you're scrolling, you know.
I think it's where I do a lot of my my social media.
Yeah.
The poop media.
It's your personal time. That's the one time nobody's definitely not going to bother you. So, you know.
It's true.
Well, except
I learned a lot of. What's that?
Except when you have 1-year-olds running around the house and they're trying to get into the bathroom because daddy's taking a shit. But you know, there's that. So you guys just Killer's Confession. You guys just got off the road. Tell us about the tour that you guys were just on. How did it feel to be back in front of a crowd after the pandemic shut the world down?
You know, it was great, and people were really nice, and you know, it was different, especially because we did like a little tour in 2020, like during the height of the pandemic, you know, and people just looked at you like you were like a zombie or something, you know, because that was just the feeling of the world going around. But, you know, everybody came out. It was really cool. We were on tour with Tommy Vexed and Struggle Jennings, and really cool people, you know, great performers, I got to say. You know, I mean, I wasn't too familiar with all their songs, but, you know, by the end of the tour, you know, you're that guy in the crowd having a couple of Bud Lights, singing every word, telling the person beside of you, "Oh, this song's coming next." You know, just spoiling it for them. But it was great, man. It's great to be back out there on the road and seeing life again, you know, because I'm a very big people person, you know. If it wasn't for the people and everybody that I just get to talk shit to all the time, you know, this shit wouldn't be worth it at all. So, you know, that's the best part. And, you know, and it's just amazing, you know. Thankful for that every day.
What was some of the things like you guys did to keep in contact with your fans over the pandemic?
Well, you know, making a lot of videos. You know, social media has gotten kind of weird for me. You know, it's just especially during that whole left-right thing or whatever you want to call it, and it just drove me crazy, and it pushed me away from it. You know, because you know, just sitting and going through people's opinions all the time just burns you out. Just like
100%.
It's been a lot, to say the least.
Yeah, so you know, that was a tough. Well, I mean, it's still there, but you know, it's like
yeah.
And I mean, you know, I was guilty. You know, I fell into it. I was reading and scrolling, and you know, oh fuck this. But you know, I just pushed myself away from that and started getting back into the music and letting all this stupid world drama go and blah blah blah, because you know, it just brings you down, boggles your mind, and it's just no good. It's just corrosion. So, you know, I try to reach out to the fans as much as I can, because I'm not on social media as much as, you know, I feel like we should be. But, you know,
it's tough though. It's a lot.
Well,
so much.
You know, it's really hard, you know, because I get like, oh, you never talk to people. You never talk to people. I'm like, well, it's kind of hard to sit on Facebook for 4 hours when I'm sitting in front of a Pro Tools and writing 3 songs, you know.
Right.
So, you know, like with all that, you know, I just got my mind to where I wanted to take it and got away from all the BS, so to speak. So, you know, got back into music again, and going on tour definitely helped, you know, seeing like other artists, you know, especially like the local bands and the opening artists that would open up for the show, you know, talking to them, seeing how things were in their communities and how in their scenes and stuff like that, you know, and just listening to different types of music. It just gave me a new fire again. I guess you can say that.
Hell yeah. That's good.
And you have to kind of step back from it too, to reset yourself, to your point, to find your focus back in the music, and you know that shit will consume you if you let it. So, you know, that's a strong willpower to not drop the social media, but have very limited to it while you're writing and with what's going on and everything. So,
well, you know, I feel like I've done the world a disservice if I post a picture to Instagram because it's always something. It's just, you know, just so I just, you know, I let all the cool kids take care of that.
That's awesome. There's a lot of cool kids for sure.
Yeah, or they think they're cool.
Diggz and I, yeah.
I'm definitely not cool, but
no, it's fine.
So coming off a tour, you guys dropped a new album, Remember. Tell us about that writing process. Was that something planned through quarantine? Was it in the works before? How did all that come about?
Well, I mean, you know, as any people who know me and Waylon, you know, we've known each other our whole lives. So, you know, no matter what band he was in, what band I was in, we always met in the middle somehow. You know, it'd be like my band would go on tour with the band he was in, or play shows, or we just always just came back together. And it's like right now, you know, for Remember, it was that quarantine stuff, and you know, with the way that music's changed, you know, with the Spotify and the streaming and all that, you know, albums aren't what they used to be, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So, but, you know, little old redneck me, you know, I jump in my little Mazda and I head down to Florida, and me and Waylon spend like a week, 14 days, you know, sitting around writing songs and coming up with parts and all this stuff. And then, you know, I come back home and sit down and make the songs, and then I'd send it to him and he would record, you know, his vocals and stuff like that. So we did a lot of it over the internet, but you know, and that was the first time I'd ever done that, honestly. You know, I mean, I've sent off songs and beats and blah, 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 but it was the first time I'd really sat down and made an album over email, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
You know,
it's crazy. It's cool. It's good that like the technology is there to do that and continue the writing. And you guys got an album done. So, but also at the same time, for someone to be in the same room and to feel each other's energy and stuff, it's obviously got to be difficult in its aspect as well.
Well, I was getting ready to say, you know, going down to Florida and, you know, vibing off of Waylon and stuff, you know, vibing off of each other, getting ideas off of each other, you know, that's always it. But, you know, I guess call me old school, but I just love being in the room with everybody and, like you say, vibing off of the vibes and stuff, you know, but it was a learning process for myself, but I enjoyed it. I'm ready to do it again. Still doing it.
Hell yeah. That's good. Well, you must be pumped to get to fly out and actually get with the band and write and get some stuff recorded.
Well, that's why I'm so excited to head up to Nashville, you know, this week, because, you know, we're all going to be in a room together and just start rocking out and coming up with some ideas, you know, that's the main thing, getting the vibe.
Exactly.
We got another question I'm going to pop in here. Real quick, when's the merch line?
It'll be coming out, you know, hopefully by spring, all that good stuff. You know, we've got a lot of ideas coming through and a couple of artists working on some stuff. So I'm pretty excited about that. You know, get your church merch.
That's over, I believe, churchbeats.com, if I remember correctly.
Yep. That'll be launching really soon. You know, got a lot of goody like hip hop and crazy beats to go on it and just some weird stuff, because I've been really getting into, I mean, you know, I wouldn't say just a particular artist, but I guess just like noise, you know, like Ghost Main, you know, just
Ghost Main's awesome.
Well, that's why I threw him out there. You know, I mean, I've listened to him for a while, but you know, just getting into that crazy, weird noise, you know, Igor type stuff. So, you know, and I'm sure people, you know, especially with the internet the way it is, there's an unending plethora of music and great artists and just tons of inspiration on every click. There's not corners anymore. There's clicks. You don't have to go around the corner. So
I like that. You have to go around the click.
Well, go around the click.
It's true. I absolutely know that. So I saw like getting, my facts about both bands. You've done features and have had artists feature with A Killer's Confession. What were some of your favorite like featured artists that you got to work with?
Well, you know what? This goes back a little bit, but one of my favorite artists that I got to work with, I think it was Busy Bone. I got to work with him on the 10,000 Cadillacs album when we made that, and it was actually pretty comical, because like here I am, I got this sweet Southern drawl, I talk, real slow, and then I'm recording him in the studio, and I'm like, "What'd you say?" And then he'd be like, "What'd you say?" I was like, so. The song turned out really great, but the experience I had was even better, Awesome. It was something you can't put a price on. So that was pretty amazing.
Yeah, it must be. It must be a good time to be able to spread your wings in a sense to work with different artists and get different ideas and concepts and work together and making them flow.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, when you look at how many Grammys did those guys win? Like 9 Grammys,
right?
It's like every time they sang. Yeah, it was kind of. I was actually nervous too. I was like, oh shit, what am I gonna do? how do you talk to a 9-time Grammy winner? It's like, how do you talk to them?
Hey, you did it though, and that's great. Awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing. So that was one of my favorite things that I've ever done.
So all right, like just musically, cool.
On the flip side of that, Tommy, who do you want to work with that you haven't worked with yet?
Oh my gosh! I mean, that's
a loaded one.
It is.
Well, you see, that's a hard question because it's like I want to work with anybody that wants to work. I mean, I love, like I'll meet. And this has actually happened to me. I'm not going to lie. It's like, I meet some dude in Guitar Center and he's like, oh, well, I make music. I'm like, well, let me hear it. And then I'm like, hey, that sounds really cool. Let's do something. Here's my email. Or, it could be somebody like whoever. I mean, it doesn't matter. But I mean, I would love to sit down and jam with Slash. Slash, if you're listening now, we could sit down and cut some heads. Now, that would be pretty awesome.
That would be fucking incredible.
Oh yeah, because he's one of my favorites of all time too. Him, Angus Young, and all the old blues players, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is blues music a heavy influence on your jamming, your writing?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's something that won't go away. You know what I mean?
Right,
It's just in my soul. So yeah, it's just. Some just old blues and stuff, I mean, but when I think of the blues, I don't necessarily think about B.B. King singing about Lucille, I mean, I'm more of like the Sabbath heavy dark blues, the Deep Purples and, the Mastodon blues.
Totally. Well, and people wouldn't like categorize some of those bands in that category, but it is.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it really is,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like, everybody's like, when I tell everybody, I'm like, well, who's your favorite band? I'm like, AC/DC. And they look at me like, what? They're like, because they're like, you a heavy metal motherfucker. I'm like, yes, I know. I love my Deicides and Cannibal Corpses and music you can't understand. But,
totally.
It's like, when I go back and I listen to like just being able to make songs and just dirty, heavy, grooving riffs. I mean, it's like, shit, AC/DC was almost punk rock before there were punk rock, singing about fat women and bar fights and,
yeah,
getting slapped by hookers. And then I mean, what's not to love? You know, I mean, they drink.
AC/DC.
Yeah, you know. So I mean, that's pretty. They just lived every rocker's dream. You know, it's like, hey.
Yeah, exactly. Ultimate rock star list for sure.
100%. So with Killer's Confession, what I'm going to take it to the Jeffrey Nothing side of things. What's going on there? What's happening in that camp there? Any new albums coming out, new tracks? What's going on there?
Well, with the Jeffrey Nothing, you know, we just been releasing singles at a time. You know, we have enough for an album, but in today's world, you know, to keep like the Spotify and stuff up, you have to release a song every so months and every so. Yes, I do love being slapped by hookers. Who doesn't? If they tell you they don't, they are lying.
Sorry, I had to put that up there. Sorry to take you off your train of thought.
Oh, no. Actually, I was thinking more about hookers. I was just talking BS to satisfy all the music people. You know.
Oh, man.
I mean, hookers, it kind of goes hand in hand with what we were talking about before we went on the air earlier, but we don't have
Which
to get
was
to
porn.
That. It was porn. We were talking about porn.
Yeah.
And the types.
And your types of porn, your favorite
The
types
variety.
of porn.
We'll just leave it at that.
Oh, that was pretty good. You know, I mean, that's how you can tell if you're a really close friend of mine. You know, if you're a really close friend of mine, you always get a she-male dick in your inbox, you know? And that's no joke, you know? It's great.
Well, if you're real close with Tommy, don't give him your phone number.
It's a good way to find peace.
Awesome. All right. So to pull back off the porn conversation and hookers real quick, Jeffrey Nothing. So you're saying you're releasing songs every few months, which we've talked about in the past. And you're right. Like nowadays with Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff, dropping singles, I feel like they get a little more attention than dropping full albums, and because it leaves people wanting more and it leaves people wanting the full album.
Well, you know, like those singles, they help. Of course, they're going to help get you to newer audiences. And anymore, you know, it's like if you're a musician, you've got to make videos of some form or fashion or something, you know, because the content just goes hand in hand now. You know, if 9 times out of 10, if people like your video, they'll go check you out on Spotify, your singles, and then they'll check out the other songs. So, you know, that's why we try to release some kind of visual for Jeffrey Nothing every song we do. And, you know, we're just having fun with it and making the music that we want to make. And, you know, because the new Jeffrey, you know, it's like we tuned down the E and adding, you know, getting Ian to come in and sing with Jeff and doing, you know, some 2 vocal harmonies and some crazy just guttural parts. You know, it's good, it's fun, it's refreshing for us again, you know, because not bound by any limits or restraints or anything, just doing what we want to do.
That's cool. I like that. Just going at no pressure of getting things out like immediately. It's good.
Yeah. So, you know, and in today's world, you have to keep that Spotify type thing going because, you know, people can release albums, but my attention span is so short and everybody else's attention span is so short with everything around us. You know, I mean, shucks, I listen to the radio and watch TV at the same time because I'm just a partier, you know, so it's like, you know, gotta have 3 things going at once, you know?
Yes. Yes.
You're definitely right on that aspect.
But you got Diggz. I'm Gavin over here.
That's all right. I'm gonna spin it a little bit out of the music world, and we're gonna bring it into the paranormal world. That I know you and Lisa do a lot with the paranormal. You guys have something coming up on January 22nd. Talk about that a little bit. Here it is, right here, over at Hotel Josephine. There, people come sign up to come ghost hunt with you, meet and greet, and snacks, and overnight stay. So give us a little rundown of what's going on there and how you got into the paranormal aspect of doing things.
Oh, well, I'll tell you, my girlfriend Sanika, she was always into like these crazy videos on YouTube. You know, she would watch like nukes and Sir Spooks and stuff like that. But she got me into like these crazy videos. You know, not like Ghost Hunters International, the dudes that ride around in a Ritterbug van. You know, it was like the I guess like the real people haunted house stuff. You know, so
Yeah.
but I mean, you know, to say that I'm a ghost hunter is a little far stretch because I'll tell you what, if anything comes out the closet at me, I'm headed the other way. I'm not going to sit there and, ask it what it had for dinner, so, but, it's interesting and it definitely, it pulls something out of you on the inside, it's like, are you brave enough to go in that door? Are you brave enough to go check it? It's like, So, it's like.
So you feel like you're like more into the energy of a location and stuff like that? You're not necessarily looking for paranormal activity, or are you like looking for it, You calling it
It's like even when I was a kid, I was always intrigued by that stuff because living in the mountains of North Carolina, there's always legends, there's like, there's the old witch down at the Blood Rock, or, there's a witch that threw the kids in the well. So, me and my friends, we would go sit at the well and look for that, and, just get for, and it's basically just an excuse to smoke pot and get out of the house. But,
Yeah, but it makes it fun.
Absolutely.
Always makes it fun. And, it was fun, and it is fun, going out and doing stuff like that. And it's like you say, it's like that weird feeling. It's like, ooh, I'm creeped out, because sometimes you can't describe a feeling sometimes, it's like.
You get that fucking heebie-jeebie feeling walking into a room because something's going on, but it's that feeling.
Oh, yeah, it's that big wide-eyed, like, when you look at the person beside of you and you don't have to say a word because they're like, they know it too, It's like,
It's kind of like when the Sally House, the one that I edited for you and Lisa, that's up on the LTTV YouTube that we're streaming live on right now. So go like, share, subscribe to that. When you guys come up out of the basement and you said you could feel something coming up behind you. You guys both kind of scurried up the steps a little bit to get out of there. I mean, that's just working on that and then rewatching it just had me like the hairs on my arms sticking up because I love that shit.
The Sally House was pretty creepy. The Brown Theater was, well, man, it had this great big air conditioner in it. Okay. And it would just kick on at random. And you know what a huge air conditioner sounds like? It sounds like a freight train is coming straight for your head.
Right. Yeah.
So, like at the Brown Theater, we were in the pitch dark, we were in the basement, and then all of a sudden a train comes at your head and it was scary. But at the Sally House, it was very quiet. Every now and then a car would drive by or something, but there was a very creepy, eerie feeling there sometimes. But, did you see the part where she ran off and left me and went screaming down the street?
I don't believe that one made it on the videos that I got.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll just keep that. We'll just keep that our inside joke then. Well, it's something definitely different. We went up and we played with the toys, and that was the most creepy thing to me, and we didn't like desecrate them or, try to, rip its head off and be like, you come get us. But it was like, we put them in a circle and she was supposed to mess them up or put them in a circle and stuff. And that was weird sitting in, I guess, Sally's room with the toys. And you just got this weird, just like, I'm not sure I want to be in here much longer vibe,
Totally.
That, and then there was the closet. And I believe it looked like one of the parents' rooms where something had happened in the closet and with a little boy and Sally, I think.
Yeah, it was definitely a creeper closet, man. It was weird because
that is
the way
weird.
It was really weird the way that the closet even worked together, but in the room, because it looked a like a carpeted dungeon almost. You know, it was weird.
Yeah, I got creepy vibes, you know, looking at it and all that. So for you guys to stay there, also in the night, obviously things look a lot different at nighttime with the lights on. You guys out there with your spotlights. So I don't know how you managed to do it, but
I don't know. Yeah, in Massachusetts, they give you the option to go stay at the Conjuring House, which I don't know if you're familiar with that story, but I don't know if I would do it. I don't know. I would go there during the daytime with the sun up, but I wouldn't stay the night.
Well, my brother always tells me my brother is into it more than I am. Like, he loves that stuff, and he'll go through any door. I don't know. I don't understand how people can do that, but like, he wants to go to the, I believe it's, the old asylum in Kentucky. Do you know the name of that place? What do they call that? There's some asylum in Kentucky he wants to go to, which I honestly don't want to go to that. It looks too scary.
Yeah, some stuff like you just can't fuck with. What's one of the I was going to ask just like one of the most scariest moments that you've ever encountered doing it for you personally?
Well, it's like when I was younger, I saw 2 ghosts. I actually saw 3 ghosts, but I think one was an alien, and I'm not sitting here saying, "Oh, aliens come to get me," but it was weird. Like,
hey, I had a weird alien experience as a child.
Well, I forget what year it was, but I was just a kid, and Hurricane Hugo came through North Carolina and demolished everything. It was absolutely just terrifying, the damage that this thing done. We didn't have power for weeks, trees were down, blah blah blah. So anyway, it was like one night during Hurricane Hugo, the crazy winds were blowing and all that stuff. Well, I woke up and I was like backed up against the wall, and I don't know how I got there. I don't, I was told I had a problem with sleepwalking, but I'm up against the wall and I can see somebody in front of me, and I'm calling out to my brother because of the storm. We had some family members stay over and stuff like that. So me and my brother was sharing a bed, and I'm just like, and I just call out to him. I was like, "Is that you? Who's in front of me? Who are you?" And it went on for like what seemed forever. And then out of the corner, my brother looks at me and he's like, "Who are you talking to?" And I was like, "That ain't you." He's like, "No, I'm over here." So we both screamed and, just lost our minds and stuff like that. But then, I also ran into like a couple of ghosts, or I believe they were ghosts. I don't know.
Totally.
I don't know.
I've had some weird experiences in my life, I will say.
Yeah.
With ghostly things. So I don't know.
You had
it's full energy.
I guess you had a head around the corner behind you at the Brown Theater.
Yeah, it was crazy. We didn't even see that until we went back and we were going through all of the footage. And, I was sitting there and I was like, what in the devil is behind me? And it was on Facebook Live, it was on live. We didn't even have it on, it was on captured video, of course, but it was live, we didn't have no way to manipulate it or anything, but we went back and we were just watching it and we were like, it looks like something just peeks its head around the corner at me when I'm looking at the pictures of the old theater owners. I think it scares you more when you go back and see it instead of like, it's like, oh, that thing was right there near me and I didn't even know it. That's almost more terrifying than it knocking over a lampshade or something,
Totally.
Yeah, I get that. Go back and rewatch the footage and to your point, realize, oh shit, that thing was nose to nose with me. I didn't even see it. Or this person, you heard this sound and then you see a shadow across the screen. Or
well, Well, we're just basically having a good time, talking shit, making fun, talking to people on Facebook, and then we go back and look at it, and I was like, "Oh my God, Oogie Boogie's behind me! What the hell is that?" I was like, "Holy shit!"
Nuts. It's crazy. That's cool though. It's cool that you do that.
And then one time, we were in the main hall, and we were sitting there, and we had out like the spirit box and stuff, and like for just some reason, like she just went blank, like just blank, and we just lost like time, and I mean I had to snap her out of it. I was like, hey, what are you? She's like, what? I was like, where are you? And she was just like gone, and it's the freaky stuff like that you don't expect. That's the most terrifying.
Definitely. And
I'm not talking about, like, you run around and, here comes Patrick Swayze, it's like, it's more like the physical stuff that, like when you're sitting there and you're watching somebody that you're in this haunted place with, and, they're just out, and yeah. I'm like, I'm gonna call the priest, get an exorcist on your ass or something.
Exactly.
I ain't riding in the car with you. You ain't bringing no juju home with me.
I will send a ride back.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like, I hope you brought the candles and the sage and the salt.
Right? Shit.
Yeah.
That's awesome though. That's I don't know. I could do some of it, but definitely not.
Well, it's like even on tour, I've done this for a while. Even when I'm on tour, like the Thompson House. You ever heard of that? It's a place down close to Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. They used to have bands there. Well, it was like I would always go on ghost hunts in places like that had like a history. Like the Thompson House. I did one there. Didn't see anything. We were all just drunk and having fun. And then I went on a couple at the Rave Theater, the place where Jeffrey Dahmer used to hang out and like catch his victims. Mm-hmm. That place was pretty awesome, and it's pretty daggone freaky when you're going through there, especially with all the history on the walls.
Right, totally.
It's pretty crazy. So over the years, I've done ghost hunts while out on tour or whatever.
Got to get you over to the Clown Motel over in Vegas.
Where's that at?
Do this for a second.
The Clown Motel. It's like a very secluded hotel on one of the interstates in Vegas, and it's supposedly incredibly haunted and creepy. It's in the backside of a cemetery. It's creepy as fuck, and I want to go.
Oh, well.
I've never heard of that.
The Clown Motel.
I mean, I would love to go as long as it's haunted by dead people and not real life Anthony Hopkinses. I'm more scared of the living than I am the dead.
No, it's definitely haunted by the dead people, not the living.
Because I mean, bath salts do some crazy things to a man.
Not wrong.
Yes, they do. As we start to wrap up here, Tommy, we got a few minutes left. First, we want to thank you again for coming on. Killer's Confession, Jeffrey Nothing Band. Make sure you go check them out. Like, share, subscribe, all their social medias. Any final words, anything last you want to plug before we cut you loose and you can get ready to depart to Nashville tomorrow?
Man, I just want the world to keep rocking and to get back into a living life again and stop, this crazy fear shit, So, crank that music up loud, drink a cold one, and let the good times roll.
Those will
work the way we like to do it. Tommy, thank you again for coming out on Sunday, chatting with us. Look forward to seeing you out on the road in 2022. And we wish you the best of luck in writing. And
excited for the new stuff for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, I got quite a few different genres of stuff going out, all the way from Beethoven to Behemoth type stuff, so one extreme to the other.
So we're looking forward to it all. Make sure you go over and check out churchbeats.com when that merch line drops, hopefully this spring. And Tommy, we'll talk with you soon. We appreciate it, and best of luck in 2022.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Tommy Church, everybody, at Killer's Confession, Jeffrey Nothing Band. Go check them out. And again, go get to Spotify, put them on your playlist. Go like, share, subscribe to all their shit. Go like, yeah, wow, words. Like, share, subscribe to all of our stuff over at Hell Entertainment, YouTube, Facebook, all that good shit. aGraace Photography. Go subscribe to her because she's kind of good, I guess. Except when she does that.
Come on.
Oh, I found Chucky's head.
I didn't know we lost Chucky's head.
Oh, yeah. After you bit him, I think he went flying somewhere.
That hurt my teeth.
That was a good sound.
I actually got one of those for Christmas.
Chucky head?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it's in my bag somewhere around here. I don't know. Whatever.
Anyway.
So, thank you for joining us. We will see you in
2 weeks.
weeks.
That will be our season finale of season 2 of Sinner Sundaze. It'll just be these two beautiful faces, maybe a few guests. We don't know what's going to happen, but pop in, shoot the shit. We're going to do our recap of the year of our season. We hope everybody had a happy and safe New Year's. And we're ready to rock and roll in 2022. I know I am. I know you are. And,
Rage.
Once again, January 22nd, you can go ghost hunt with Church at the Hotel Josephine. Check out hellentertainment.com for all of the recaps of the show tonight. All the links you can find for Tommy and all his bands and all his projects. And I guess you won't be seeing us on Instagram again because, well,
You might.
you're there, I'm here. It happens. We'll see what happens. See what we can do. On that note, I think we are done.
We're done. Good night.
Good night, everybody. We will talk with you soon. Bye.